So this is a very short video for those of you out there trying to tabulate the commercial elements of Tempus temporary fire doors when comparing with timber temporary fire doors. Now there's a few factors outside just the initial purchase of the product that we highly recommend you take into account when doing your analysis. Now ultimately these points are run through, ultimately determine the exit cost of using Tempus or using timber. So firstly, there's maintenance costs. So Tempus is ultimately designed to withstand the rigorous environment of construction. And over the duration of a project, you don't incur maintenance costs to provide that compliance. In comparison to that, timber ultimately is a natural product and will react to impact, high usage and climatic conditions. And to counter those, there is the need for significant maintenance to ensure that compliance. And fundamentally, this door here is to perform in the event of a fire. So maintenance is absolutely essential. It's not a cost you can bypass. And with timber, over a project of a significant duration, that significantly impacts your exit cost. Secondly, there is wastage cost. Tempus ultimately is designed to be reused due to the fact it's compliant for a sustained period of time. It's either used on the same project or another project altogether. Therefore, there is no wastage or disposal cost. Timber, however, due to the fact it deteriorates over time, there's only so much maintenance that can be done to a door for it to be compliant. Therefore, over any typical project duration, a timber door, once removed, is disposed of due to the fact it's unfeasible to reuse it. This has a significant cost that's associated with timber. Next is management time, and as we know, time is money. And to demonstrate this point vividly, a customer explained to me just the other day that every invoice they have from a supplier costs them £80 to process. Now as that principle applies to timber doors when managing the need for maintenance. And over the duration of a large project, repetitive maintenance requires management, and management equals money, which is a cost on the bottom line. And it's often a cost that's not associated or identified at the point of procurement. It's one of those costs that's incurred or identified or lost in the exit cost. So something I highly recommend is look at management time. There's a massive amount of savings to be made in management time. Next is installation time. Tempus is fundamentally a completely pre-assembled cassette unit that's offered up to the wall and surface fixed to the substrate. Now, from multiple reports from the installers on the coalface on site, we've had an average time identified of 20 minutes per door. This compares to timber as a timber door assembly of up to potentially an hour, 2 hours per door. Now, if you multiply that out across a large project with a large quantity of doors, that's a significant variance between timber and Tempus for installation cost. So reuse and relocation. Timber, as I've mentioned already, is disposed of after every use. Therefore, for every single opening you require a timber temporary fire door, there's a complete new cost associated with it. Tempus, however, due to its reuse characteristics, after every usage, you're making significant savings as reusing an asset. Ultimately, it's a free door. So over a sustained period of time, accumulatively, timber versus Tempus are worlds apart. Then there's shared investment. Now, a number of contractors that I've been working with have been adopting the policy whereby every project that uses the Tempus door on a reuse basis contributes a percentage to the original procurement sum. Being an asset, it requires a little bit more investment initially. However, if shared across the numerous projects that are using it, the actual cost incurred by every individual project is actually less than timber. Finally, something for management to consider. A number of our clients have been looking at the possibility of insurance premium reduction as a result of adopting products that exceed the demands of the JCOP or HSG 168. Now, rather than just meeting the bare minimums and going a step further to best practice, there may be a case for an insurance premium reduction. If that's multiplied over numerous projects or at group level, this could be a significant saving. So I recommend management potentially looking at that option. So to summarise, the points we've covered ultimately determine the exit cost of either using Tempus or timber for your temporary fire doors. So there's a lot of costs, as we can see, outside just the procurement of material. So I just encourage you to tabulate those so you come to an accurate exit cost. of either using Tempus or Timber. And then just finally on Timber, if using Timber, just ensure you are factoring in the required costs to ensure it is compliant for the duration of the project. Trust that helps. Thank you.